and welcome to the Bluegrass Sports Show. Go ahead.
We're also known as the BS Show, two fat guys talking crap, even though we are showing off muscles today. I'm Perry. This is Carl. Today we're coming to you with our top 5 power forwards, of course, going 5-1 in the modern NBA. This, of course, it's a hard list to come up with.
It is.
Power forward might be the most shallow position in the league these days.
Ooh, yeah, probably.
I think so.
Yeah, probably. And I do want to give this shout out. If Tim Duncan had not retired, he would be on my list still yet, even though he's like 48. But he would still be on there.
He's that young?
He's that young, yeah. When he retired, he was still playing at a darn good level.
You know, we beat him in the 96 tournament on the way to the title. We beat him in Wake Forest in the Elite Eight.
Yeah, but we have a tough team.
Yeah, we did. 96 Cats, greatest of all time.
We had a tough team. Well, it's the greatest Cats team of all time.
96.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the greatest team of all time.
You find one to beat it.
It's hard, but
Find one to beat it.
I know, but I'm right there. But anyway, sorry to get completely off topic. We are doing the top 5 power forwards. We have been switching up, but before we get into all that, I do want to give a shout out and thank you to all of those that have watched our videos, that have liked our videos, and that have subscribed. Thank you, guys. Seriously, it means a lot to us. It has blew our mind as to how many has actually enjoyed our watching us, which is crazy. But
people always like watching me.
Not me. I piss people off. But anyway, let's get rolling with it. Who is your number 5?
Number 5 for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's a heartbreaking pick because he's hindered by injury, and if he's healthy, this past year he was phenomenal. My number 5 power forward is Jabari Parker.
Jabari Parker.
Jabari Parker. He's got a ways to go.
If it wasn't for the injuries, I'd probably have him in mind. But
he's got a ways to go defensively, but offensively and rebounding, he was excellent last year.
See, Jabari Parker's one of those I could see switching to small forward.
I could see as well.
But he's got Giannis, so he's not. As long as he's playing for the Bucks, he's going to be a power forward.
Giannis can play anything he wants to play.
Yeah, but they're going to have him at small.
Jabari, he's a lot like Carmelo with his body type. He's got a very solid frame.
Yeah, he's stout.
And it's not a tone solid like LeBron. It's just he's a big guy
big
solid.
Boy. Yeah.
And while his game may be better suited for small forwards, his size makes him perfect.
Yeah.
And his ability to handle the ball. He, to me, you'll like this. He to me, is the next Dirk Nowitzki. You heard it first. He's not quite the shooter yet, but as far as putting it on the floor, taking it to the rim, Jabari Parker, next Dirk.
Gosh, that is high praise. I mean, Jabari, if you watch this video, you got to love Perry. That's high praise.
And I hate Duke, but I love you.
Dirk's tough. So, my number 5, and I hate to even say it, but I've got to go Blake Griffin.
Okay.
At number 5.
Okay.
I hate to say it. Some people are going to be like, number 5? Yes, at number 5, I do not like Blake Griffin. No offense, Blake Griffin. I like him as a player. Love him as a person. This is completely off topic, but Justin Bieber once walked into a restaurant shirtless. They tried to kick him out. He threw a fuss because he's Justin Bieber. Blake Griffin walks up, smacks him right in front of everybody. Loved it. Blake Griffin, you're the man. But as a player, I'm not too hyped up on Blake Griffin.
So you have him on your top 5 simply because he's left the Beeps.
Yeah, exactly. You have moved up in the world right there.
You've always got a seat at my table.
No, I mean, he's still a really good player. He's a good player. He just could be so much better. I think that's what hurts me on him as a player.
Okay.
Is his potential's there. He's just not realizing it yet. And maybe now that Paul is out of town, maybe he relishes coming in as the number 1 guy on that team and does a phenomenal job. We will have to see on that. But right now, I've got him at number 5.
Who's your 4?
My number 4 is Dirk Nowitzki.
Still?
Still, yeah. Dirk, he's still got the most unguardable shot in the league. And he's still scoring at a good rate.
My question is, does he still have a hip?
I mean, you talk Jabari Parker. There's injuries too. So injuries maybe not, but I mean, he's still a shooter. He's still deadly. He's still gonna score on you when he's good and healthy.
If his legs were wood, he would have been eaten up by termites 3 years ago.
I do still have Dirk on there. I don't care. I've got to give a shout out to my ballers, man.
You and with Wade and Dirk still in your top 5 at their position. My number 4 would have been higher on this list 3 years ago. And that number 4, and it's hard for me only to have him at number 4. And I thought very hard about switching this before I got to this, but I'm sticking to my guns. I've got Kevin Love.
Kevin Love. I don't even have him in my top 5.
Kevin Love had a great season last year. Best season he's had since he come to Cleveland. Another percent what his numbers were. 23-12 against Boston in the Eastern Conference Finals. Completely dominated Boston.
Here's my thing that is for Kevin Love. Is you'll hear these haters talk about, well, when he went to a team with other great players, he fell out. The only thing that has been showcased bad about Kevin Love to me since he's came to the Cavaliers is that defense.
Yep. That was bad in Minnesota.
Yeah, but I mean, his offense was showcased in Minnesota.
Yep.
So when he came to Cleveland, his offense took a step back. But he's just like Chris Bosh, who would have been on this list had he not had the heart troubles. To me, he would have been on mine. Same thing with him. You have to learn how to play.
Chris Swost
was you have to learn how to play with 2 other great players, and especially at a power forward who can shoot the ball. Your main objective now becomes rebounding, defense, and shooting. I mean, that's your main objective. Playing with LeBron James, I mean, he's going to facilitate.
You wait to watch this man with Isaiah Thomas.
Dude, I loved Kevin Love. No pun intended. I do. He is phenomenal. And it was hard. It was hard not to put him on.
This just made me really miss whenever Pau Gasol was awesome. I don't even know why.
Pau Gasol
was my woman.
The best.
Love Pau.
Your woman.
He had the loss.
He was the best passing big man. Maybe ever.
It's great.
Maybe ever.
Blake Griffin's really good passer.
But that's what I mean. Blake Griffin could be so much better. Blake Griffin, you infuriate me. If you would realize your potential.
Have you said your 4 yet?
Yes.
Are we to my 3?
Yeah, you said your 4 too.
Who was your 4?
Dirk.
My 4 was.
Yeah.
Sorry. My 3.
All right, who's your 3?
Blake Griffin.
Oh.
Yes.
Blake Griffin at number 3.
Blake Griffin, whenever he's healthy, is an impact player. And Blake Griffin could be number 2 on this list if Blake Griffin had the dog in him.
Exactly.
He don't have the dog in him. He should have been the man. Even with Chris Paul on your team, he should have been the man on that team.
I think Chris Paul would have loved it too.
Yes, absolutely.
He would have. But he would have loved taking a back seat to some, especially if it meant going to the finals or winning a championship. He'd have been all for it.
I love Blake Griffin's game. Blake Griffin can step outside. He can score. He can put the ball on the floor.
Yeah, but
possibly the best dunking big man since Sean Kemp or maybe Amari Stoudemire.
He may be better than Amari.
Poor Mozgov. But
he's had some heller dunks.
But he's a 23-10 guy. And that's where he should be. He could possibly be better than that.
Yes, I think he's got the potential, honestly, just to see an increase in scoring.
And he's a great post-up scorer.
I seriously think he's got the potential to be a 30-point per game scorer.
Really?
Seriously. Okay. I think the potential's there. He just hasn't realized it.
Okay.
And maybe even rebound. I mean, when we talk about his freakish athleticism, maybe even kicking up that rebounding number. But he has played alongside DeAndre Jordan, who's been grabbing, 12 or 13.
Chris Paul's a good rebounder for size, too. You remember whenever Blake was in college and he went in for a dunk and hit his head on the side of the backboard?
No. Yes, I don't remember that.
He did that.
But, I can see it. I can see him doing it.
He went for a dunk, hit his head on the side of the backboard, and still dunked
it. I can see it happening, yeah.
Whatever happened to his brother, Taylor?
Taylor has he wasn't the player.
No.
By any means.
There was 2 of them.
But there is still 2. I think Taylor's still in the league, floating around somewhere. I do believe he is floating around the league somewhere,
Who's your
but
three?
do not quote me on that. My number 3 is, and this was hard for me.
Okay.
Okay. My number 3 is Draymond Green.
Okay.
And it's literally just because of his ability to do everything.
But I'm very interested to see who your 2 is going to be. But go ahead.
Okay. So mine is Draymond Green. And literally, like I said, it's only because of his ability to do everything. But I'm not a huge Draymond fan. I do think, Draymond, you need to calm down. He lets his head get to him. And it's holding him back. It's holding, when we talk about players losing their cool, DeMarcus Cousins is another one that it's holding back. You know what I mean? Keep
But he
your
don't
head
do
left.
stupid stuff.
Like Draymond. No, he don't. He don't. He just gets pissed off about calls, but and really gets pissed off about calls. But anyway, Draymond, like if he would not have had his little incident there with LeBron, not just with LeBron, if that would have been his first incident, it wouldn't have been as big of a deal as it's his multiple incidents of kicking somebody in the groin. And he says he's raising his leg up with his shot, but he don't do it every time. You're not. You're not raising your leg. Admit it. And also, anybody that tries to play it off when they have one of these zoning out moments, did you see that clip there where he's just staring off during the
He doesn't blink.
yeah,
He
he don't
doesn't
blink.
breathe.
He just holds his face straight and then says, "My side of the screen froze up. Technology's crazy." No, admit it. You just completely zoned out and said, "Screw this conversation," and started thinking about your own stuff. But as far as a player, he literally can do everything.
I zoned out there.
Yeah.
My screen froze. This side over here froze.
He can do everything.
And if you ever kick me in my testicles, I'm going to punch you in the nose.
Yes, I'm not going to stand for that. And, I mean, how come he ain't done it to DeMarcus Cousins?
DeMarcus Cousins would punch him in the nose.
He would rip his head off. That's why he ain't done it. He does it to people that he thinks are not going to do anything. And he also does it to people that are going to greatly impact the game.
I've got an idea who your number 2 is going to be, but go ahead.
Okay. So with my number 2, I'm going Kristaps Porzingis.
That's what I thought.
Yep. And he's tough. He's tough. When you talk about players that could be Dirk Nowitzki, he's one of those players.
Agreed.
He is tough in today's NBA. Last season really was a great season for him. If it wouldn't have been for the Knicks just turmoil and, the Knicks being the Knicks,
Good defender, too.
the spotlight would have been on him.
Should have been.
His game. Yeah. If
As
it
long as
wasn't for the Knicks being the Knicks.
As long as Melo's there, it won't be.
Right. Well, Melo can't stand not being the man. And he's not. That is now Porzingis' team. And he is tough.
I considered Porzingis for my list, but to me, I haven't seen enough of Kristaps being the man, which the same thing can be said about Jabari Parker. But I like the way Jabari...
And Draymond Green.
I disagree. But...
Okay.
I thought very hard about Porzingis.
Yes, he's a great player.
I just like Jabari better. Simply put, I love Porzingis, but I just like Jabari better.
I mean, I get it. I'm right there with you. Porzingis is tough, and Parker's tough. I mean, like we said. And, you talked about injuries. That's another thing. I mean, if that pick would be more justifiable if the injuries weren't there for Jabari. But Kristaps is here. He's not going anywhere. That man's here.
Wish the Lakers would have took him instead of D'Angelo Russell.
Russell might be tough eventually, maybe.
No. Maybe someday.
But
my brother-in-law looked at me with a straight face and said the Nets will be better than the Pelicans this year.
What? I mean, I don't know. We shouldn't allow that marriage to happen. No, Anthony
joking.
Davis and Cousins together, that's going to be tough.
I love Shaq. I love Shaq.
Yes, his brother-in-law name is Shaq, which automatically scores you some points. That's the only reason you're staying in here. But who is your number 1?
Well, I gave you my number 2.
Oh, who's your number 2?
Draymond. Draymond Green, to me, he took a little bit of a smaller role this year, naturally,
obviously
with
the
Durant
star
being
power
added to
that's
the
there,
team.
yeah.
Draymond Green is a nightly triple-double threat.
Yes, and he's the quiet superstar of that group. I mean, he's not quiet himself, but
he is a top-notch defender.
Yes.
He can guard 1 through 5
Yep.
thoroughly. He can get you on a night 15 to 20 if you need it.
Mm-hmm.
He can score from everywhere on the floor. He's a great playmaker. He's the point guard.
He is really good. Yeah.
He is, for the way that the Warriors play now, he is the point guard for that team. I know we went through the line of bashing him for his stuff a few minutes ago. I'm going to praise him.
Yeah.
And,
I mean, we didn't praise him before we bashed him.
I mean, he only averaged 8 or 9 rebounds this year, but
8 or 9, yeah. But when you do everything else as well as he does, if it wasn't for those small moments where he lets his head ain't in the right place and he's not keeping a level head. If he kept a level head, I don't think he would do those things. He's a smart player. He's not stupid. He just gets worked up and then shows it.
Would you like to know a fast stat about Draymond Green?
What's
A little fast fact. He was committed to play at the University of Kentucky.
Really?
Yes. He committed to Tubby Smith.
And
whenever Tubby resigned, they let him out of his commitment. Went to Michigan State.
I didn't know that.
True.
I remember there was somebody there, but I didn't remember his name.
True story. That was Draymond Green.
Huh. Well, now when we talk about college players, I never expected Draymond Green to be as good as he's been.
No, me either.
No, not at all. I mean, he has been phenomenal, and he's one of those second-round draft picks.
He's another guy that the college game made him look bigger than what he actually is. I always thought he was a bigger guy.
He's pretty stupid. Still pretty big guy.
Well, I'm talking about.
But he's another one of those second-round draft picks. You talked about Manu Ginobili in an earlier video. That was not expected to be what he turned out to be.
Look at Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah, I mean, well, Isaiah Thomas, his questions were literally based off his size. That was his biggest question.
He was the 60th pick in the draft.
I know, but I'm saying their biggest question for Isaiah Thomas and their biggest reasoning for not drafting him was his size. And that you cannot let. And I think that's one reason why Tyler Ulis had no problem getting drafted. I think Isaiah Thomas is a reason for that.
Should have been drafted higher anyway.
He should have. And shout out, he had that big game winner there last season. That's Ulis, baby, Kentucky. Anyway.
I wish he'd have went to Spurs.
I wished he'd have stayed at Kentucky, but can't blame the kid. He was tough. But anyway,
we had De'Aaron Fox.
Huh?
We had De'Aaron Fox this year.
So I don't care.
I love Ulis, but Ulis is never going to be hotter than what he was. His time was right.
Yeah, I mean I can see that. But anyway, we're way off topic. Going back to power forwards, we have talked a lot about Draymond Green and him coming from second round pick. Who is your number one?
He's your number one as well.
Yeah. This man that is on this picture behind us.
He's not on that picture behind us.
Is he not?
No, that's the wall team.
That is the wall team. Sorry.
God almighty.
And it's my picture, guys.
I was just
this is my picture.
pointing to the fact
that it's Kentucky.
Of the Cates.
And that is
Anthony Davis.
The freak.
Came from great beginnings at the University of Kentucky.
Which automatically sets you up for success, if we're being honest.
Well, National Player of the Year, National Defensive Player of the Year, Conference Player of the Year, National Defensive Player of the Year as a freshman, National Freshman of the Year. All the same accolades for conference.
Number one player that year. Number one high school player.
One draft pick. Final Four most outstanding player. Olympic gold medal.
Yep.
I mean, coming out of college, he was washed in the blood of the Durham Lamb. He was fantastic. Fantastic. Did you not get my reference?
I didn't.
Washed in the blood. It's a Bible thing. Yeah. Washed in the blood of the Lamb. He was washed in the blood of the Durham Lamb.
I mean, I don't.
Anyways, Anthony Davis. He averaged 28 and 12 last year. If anybody
set the blocks record at Kentucky too for a freshman.
We're past Kentucky. Nerlens Noel was on his pace whenever Nerlens got hurt.
But he got hurt. Yeah,
Nerlens was good too.
He was.
But anyways,
the only good player on that team.
Would you shut up? We're back to Davis. 28 and 12 last year. Perennial threat to lead the league in blocks. Top 5. He was top 5 in rebounding. I'm pretty sure he should have been averaging 12 a game. But anyways, he was top 5 in scoring. I don't know what else to say.
There's not much else to say.
I hate the fact that he's been trapped in New Orleans. I understand his loyalty, to New Orleans.
But they're getting better.
For God's sakes, they put a unibrow on their mascot for him. But 2 years ago, whenever that team was healthy, they were still kindly injured somewhat towards the end of the season, but they limped in as the 8th seed.
Right.
I wish that team would have stayed healthy and built off of that instead of everybody being hurt, him included at some points, and falling backwards.
Yeah.
Because if he was put somewhere, could you imagine? See, I don't like this Boston team that has been put together. No defense whatsoever. No defense.
Right.
They're going to win games in the regular season, but come postseason, it's over.
I don't even know if they're winning one series.
I put it this way.
They have to get lucky.
If they get to LeBron, good night.
Oh, God.
If they get to LeBron.
Oh, yeah.
If you put Anthony Davis on that team, just his pure presence and ability alone, that team could beat the Warriors.
That's a bold statement. I don't know if they're going to beat the Warriors, Anthony Davis. But Davis is a absolutely phenomenal player. And still incredibly young.
Yes.
What is he, 22, 23?
Approximately.
He is incredibly young. And to already be considered one of the better players in the league.
Score anywhere on the floor.
Yes. As a power, and handle the ball like a point guard. Who, actually, he was a point guard up till his senior year of high school.
And he went.
Then he jumped way up. He grew, 6 inches? 8 inches?
He stretched.
Yeah, 6 or 8 inches there, junior to senior year.
Why couldn't it have been me?
But he was literally a top 10, I think, recruited or high school recruited point guard.
I don't think he was even that high. But
really? I thought he was that high. And then he shot up to number 1 player overall coming out of high school when he shot up that high.
The first time John Calipari saw him, he called Marcus Camby and he said, I found another you, but this guy can shoot.
I did not know that.
Yes.
But at Kentucky, for instance, we were very limited on being able to see what he could do.
Well,
because he was a puppy, but he also was so good athletically that we knew how we wanted to use him. And that was throwing alley-oop. Just throwing alley-oop, they was going to get it.
Even towards the end of the year, we were running through post-up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, but I'm saying
and that free throw line jumper was automatic.
Stuff, he didn't get to showcase as much as he could have, I think, because of the team. I mean, we had a great team that year. There's no doubt about it. We had a great team with Terrence Jones starting at power forward.
Love Terrence Jones.
Terrence Jones tough. But we didn't really get to showcase it. And I figured that it wouldn't take him very long at all once he hit that NBA and got kind of, open reins, do what you want, that he would bust out and everybody would see Anthony Davis for the player that he is. And he is phenomenal. I mean, there's nothing you can bash the guy about. Nothing. He's even extremely smart player and level-headed player. And God, let's hope he applies some of that to DeMarcus Cousins.
The biggest thing as far as what he can be criticized for is staying healthy.
Oh, yeah. That's a definite.
But other than that, that's
nothing he can help.
Across the board, I said it earlier, Giannis, and Towns are the future.
Yep. I completely agree. But, guys, we have gone way over our time limit. Once again, that is self-given, by the way, our time limit is. We're trying to keep that down for you guys. So, if I'm completely crazy and you like the videos the length they are, go ahead and comment that, and then we can throw that idea out and quit trying to shorten them down. But
that don't work.
We've tried every time. It's just failed. So we just love having these conversations. I mean, that's it. We love having the back and forth debates, even though sometimes it's just us agreeing and going over reasons why we agree, just like there with Anthony Davis. But once again, thank you guys for watching. If you liked it, go ahead and click that like button. Don't make Perry mad. He is the animal. And make sure to hit that subscribe to. And a shout out, once again, I want to do this. I want to try to do it every video. Shout out to all the subscribers and the people that like the video and watch the video.
You're the real MVP.
We will continue to do this for you guys. Next video will be the top 5 current power forwards.
We just did the power forwards.
Or sinners. Sorry. You are right. You want to finish this? Finish this. I'm terrible. Go ahead. I'm getting sleepy. Go ahead. Finish this. You got this.
You'll have a nice night. What else do you want to tell them? I mean, you told them everything.
Thank you guys very much. Have a nice night.